Hello, YouTube family. It's Wednesday, so it makes it Watch Wednesday, and I am Texas Beach Mom, or Mama Robin if you prefer. Welcome or welcome back. As I just said, this is Watch Wednesday, so we're going to go ahead and get into Watch Wednesday. Now, as I've expressed before in previous videos, I'm personally running out of ideas. I mean, I know a lot of content creators that when they start running out of ideas, they start, taking old videos, mixing them with new videos, kind of revamping them and kind of retelling the story or parts of the story in a little bit different way, which I do a little bit of that too. I'm not putting anyone down for that because I do it myself. Because obviously, there's nothing new with it, and the most recent information has been when Dylan Tallman came out with his book, which I've covered. So I kind of went in search of new information, and I run across a new video from Kelly's WTO. And she's talking about the family dynamic in the Watts case. Now, she went on to explain that she is a behavioral therapist, I think she said. I don't remember if she said therapist or else. I never remember, but she's a behavioral something. And she was talking about that, and she was talking about how this video is not going to put any blame on Shannan. And I thought, yeah, it is. But I watched a little bit of it. I watched it until I got the information I wanted. So I watched it because she says, now this is going to be about the family dynamic, but it's not in any way implying that Shannan was it was her, that she contributed to her own death. So she first talks about the family dynamic of Nicole and Chris, their dynamic. And something she pointed out that I didn't know was there is an interview, and I don't know where she got it. I haven't had time to look for it. Because I saw this video of hers earlier today, and I haven't really had time to look for the video where she got it, but it is one of hers. And it's an interview where she's talking to the police. I think she's talking to Code, but I'm not sure. And she's talking about Chris and his girls. And she's kind of talking to them kind of in the way of what life might have been like had she been a stepmom. And she was telling Chris about some things she wanted to do with the girls if she ever had the chance to meet them. And I wish I knew more about where she got this. I may have to go back and rewatch this to get more information from it. But she was talking about how she wanted to teach the girls how to paint on pottery, paint pictures on and design pottery and stuff. And there was a joke made that Kelly made about, did she know Cece? Because Cece was the wild one. I mean, Cece was the loud one, and then there were some video clips of Cece being Cece. And I thought about that. I thought about that. I thought about the dynamics of that and how that would have gone for her. I don't think it would have gone well, but so I'm watching this video, and she's talking. Nicole Kessinger is talking about how Chris, how she wanted to meet the kids eventually, and how she has so many fun things, activities she could get them to do. And again, there was lots of videos of Cece just simply being Cece. And it made me think she wouldn't have known what to do with those girls. But also at the same time, the thought that crossed my mind is that interview alone proves she knew that Chris was married. It proves she knows about the girls. proves that all the denials she made, she knew about all this shit. She was making plans, kind of, sort of, on how to spend time with them and the things she could teach them. So as the video continues, I'm like, all right, she's not made Shannan responsible for her own death yet. So at this point, I'm kind of giving her credit, like, okay, this isn't so bad. Well, as I continue to watch it, she starts talking about the money problems. She's talking about family dynamics. She starts talking about the money problems and how the money problems were her fault and how Chris didn't know anything about the money problems and it was all her fault. I'm like, okay, so now here we are. We're talking about the family dynamic and we're saying that we don't blame Shannan, but we're kind of blaming Shannan for her own death. I mean, indirectly, but we are blaming Shannan for her death. But I kept watching it for a few minutes until I got mad and said, I can't do this. But, okay, so taking Kelly's perspective. Kelly's talking about family dynamics and how they play a major role in most relationships, or in all relationships. I agree with her to a point. So before y'all get mad at me in the comments and tell me about how she shouldn't be blamed for her own death, she shouldn't. But hold on. If you're in a normal relationship, or normal's not even a good word, or if you're in a regular relationship or healthy relationship where one of you's not the psychopath, one of you is not the sociopath, and one of you is not the dangerous narcissist, if you're in a healthy relationship with somebody, family dynamics plays a big role in it. I get that. I agree with her on that. But what she is not stopping to consider, or maybe she has, and I didn't watch the whole video. It was a 4-hour video. I got maybe through an hour and a half of it, and I said, I can't do this no more. Because I personally don't agree with her. For people that do, that's fine. You have that right. That is absolutely your right. Go watch her stuff if you like it. I personally don't agree with her. I do agree that the family dynamic does play a role in healthy relationships. They even can play a role in not so healthy relationships to a point. But when your partner, when you're normal, and I use that term loosely because I don't think any of us are normal anymore, but when you're not the psychopath, the sociopath, or the narcissist, but you are married to one, I think the family dynamic no longer plays a role. I think at that point you can throw those out the window because all the rules are gone. When you are dealing with a psychopath, a sociopath, a narcissist, the relationship rules go out the window. They're gone. The family dynamic does not play the role that it should. Because you're not dealing with an everyday, ordinary, average person in a healthy or semi-healthy relationship. You're dealing with somebody that doesn't care about you. You're dealing with somebody that cares only about themselves and how they look to other people. So that's where her and I part ways. So, that's all I got to see. That is literally all I got to see was her talking about the family dynamics and talking about all the money that was spent. And she was attributing some of it to being part of an MLM. And MLM, some people have had good experiences with them and some people haven't. And I believe that MLM could have contributed to the problem. But again, if he's a psychopath, sociopath, narcissist, whichever, and I've always agreed that he's a narcissist, possibly malignant narcissist, but a lot of people have said covert, because there's so many different subgenres of narcissists. But I think even Dr. Phil used the term malignant, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to argue with that, and I'm not a big fan of his anyway. But no, what I was going to say is, it, once you're dealing with that, I don't feel like the rules, the relationship rules, the family dynamic that plays a role, I don't feel like that has the same role it doesn't have the same role anymore. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Because you're not dealing with normal things. The other video, she had another video that she talks about the secrets in the basement and what happened in the basement. It was basically the same information we all have, but somebody had hinted to her, or she'd seen a video. Oh, I know who it was. Michelle After Dark did a video about a lot of people think that Cece he tried to hide Cece in the basement originally. And that might have been one of the reasons the dogs went off, because the dogs went off in two different areas of the basement. The dogs went off down at the foot of the stairs, that's where I think Shannan was killed. And the dogs went off again. And there was, like I've said before in other videos, there was the bed down there. And then you had across from the bed, across from the foot of the bed, you had a bunch of totes and boxes and stuff. And the dogs went off really seriously down there. And there's a theory or a rumor. Sometimes they're both. Sometimes a theory is a rumor and vice versa. That he was trying to hide Cece down there. Which I've never thought about that either. I don't know how possible or how likely that is. That Cece was hid down there. Or that he attempted to originally, and then ended up taking them both to the site. Because according to Tallman's book, and I've already covered this a million times, but according to Tallman's book, what Chris told him was that Shannan died in the basement. And then apparently Sherilyn Cadle said something about Cece being hid in the basement initially, and before she was taken away. And then, of course, as I've said, Dylan Tallman says in the book that after he killed Shannan, he called Nicole, and he told Nicole, "I've killed Shannan," and she's like, "Well, might as well kill the kids now too." So he did. It's been a case. It's been a while. But I didn't have much tonight, and I'm sorry. Last week's was short, and this week's is also very short, because I just don't have any new information. I can't even really find anything new. So I keep asking my subscribers, the people that watch my videos, please, if there's something about the case you want me to cover, a new angle on something, you have questions, I can cover it in the next video. So please, by all means, leave me comments. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what you're thinking about. Ask the questions. I can cover it. And if I don't have the information, I can find it. But about that video that she was talking about, where Nicole is talking about the kids painting designs on pottery, I thought, Bella, maybe? Maybe? Cece? No, I don't think so. I don't think you could have got Cece to hold still long enough. That, and I kind of want to find that interview, because I want to listen to it in its entirety. Because I kind of remember a conversation about that a long time ago, but I've not heard about it recently, so I don't know. I need to look that up. That can be part of next week's. But yeah, it's another short video, and I'm sorry. There's just, I can't. I don't have anything. And Friday Night Live, I'm not sure what it's going to be about. I covered P. Diddy as requested. Let's see what else. I covered P. Diddy as requested. Sorry, I've not been sleeping good. There's been a lot going on this past week. But um, and the Menendez brothers probably don't have anything new right now. So I may go back to the Lady Bird Lake mystery. See if we can cover some more on that. So that gives me a little bit to do. But I am wrapping this up because, like I said, I really just didn't have anything this week. Short. Not a lot to do. And I think some of my creativity has disappeared at the moment. So I'm asking for help. But as I wrap things up, I'm going to wrap it up the same way I always do. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, anniversary, happy anniversary. If it happened between last Wednesday and now, happy belated. And if you got one coming, happy early birthday. Take care of ourselves, make good choices, take care of each other, look out for one another. Just make sure we're looking out for one another. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, and we all know it is. So let's reach out to people. Let's be helpful. Let's be kind. And I love everyone, and I wish everyone a good night and a good week. And I'll see some of you on Friday night, and the rest I'll be back on Wednesday, you know? So, Mama Rama loves you, but you all have a good night.